This tutorial is called Area Conversions. And to do our area conversions, we need to remember that area is measured using squares. And the units that we use to measure area in the metric system include square millimetres, square centimetres, square metres, hectares, that's HA is the abbreviation, and square kilometres. So how do we convert between them? That's what we'll be covering today. And what is a hectare? Some of you might know what a hectare is, and others of you won't. And in fact, a lot of adults don't as well. That's just because a lot of people don't use that very often. Depends, of course, where you live. Okay, some of you might use it quite often. Okay, so here's question 1. Convert 1 square centimetre to square millimetres. All right, try and work that out now. Press pause and play when you're ready. Okay, when I'm doing these conversions, I'm going to draw some pictures, and I think that might help you. You don't have to do this, but I think it's not a bad way to work it out if you're not really sure each time. So let's have a look. What is a square centimetre? Well, it's about the size of your fingernail, unless you've got really long ones. Probably about the size of your fingernail. And it's 1 centimetre by 1 centimetre. That's a square centimetre. Okay, so it's 1 centimetre by 1 centimetre. Now, let's put millimetres in though, because we're converting to millimetres. So 1 centimetre is 10 millimetres. So along the bottom, along the base, there's 10 square millimetres come in there. We're starting to go to area now. There's 10 squares just along that bottom row. 10 square millimetres. So the answer is not 10 square millimetres. It's a lot more than that. Because it's 10 millimetres high as well. There's going to be 10 rows of those. So here's a second row. So now we've got 20 square millimetres already. That's 2 rows. Then there's going to be 3 rows, 4 rows. Keeps going right up till there's 10 rows. So eventually it's going to look like this. And it's 10 rows of 10. So 1 square centimetre is 10 millimetres times 10 millimetres. And it's 100 square millimetres. So in that picture, there are 100 squares. All right, 100 square millimetres is the final answer. Okay, question 2. 1 square metre. Convert it to square centimetres. Press pause and have a go now. Okay, here's a picture again. What is a square metre? It's 1 metre by 1 metre. Like a large, piece of carpet or something like that. Like a big square metre, 1 metre wide, 1 metre high. It's also 100 centimetres wide and 100 centimetres high. Okay, because 1 metre is 100 centimetres. Now I can't put the grids on the little squares this time because there's so many. But it is 100 centimetres times 100 centimetres. And the answer is 1 square metre equals 10,000 square centimetres. Okay, I couldn't possibly put all those grids in. I'd have to put 10,000 of them. So 1 square metre equals 10,000 square centimetres with the working there. And that's the sort of working that you should be showing in your answers as well. Okay. Question 3. 1 hectare to square metres. Have a go if you like. Here's a clue if you don't know about hectares. Hect means 100. It's a bit of a clue. I'm not saying the answer is not 100 square metres, okay? But hect is something to do with 100. All right, press pause and press play when you go. Okay, here's a picture. It's 100 metres by 100 metres. That's what I meant about the 100 clue. It doesn't have to look like a square to be a hectare, but this is the basic hectare. So 100 by 100 metres. So 1 hectare equals 100 metres by 100 metres equals 10,000 square metres. So 1 hectare is 10,000 square metres. I'm just going to drop it and cut it a bit and explain this a bit more. One way you can remember what a hectare is, you can remember it's 100 by 100, or you can remember it's roughly the size of 2 soccer pitches or football pitches. Okay, roughly. They're actually, in truth, football pitches are about 60 or 70 metres wide, but it's just a nice easy way to remember it. It's like having 2 football pitches right next to each other. Now down the bottom, I just want to prove to you that you don't have to have a square as a hectare. It could be 200 by 50. Right, that would still give me 10,000 square metres. That's 1 hectare down there. Obviously drawn to a different scale. Right, it's been really reduced down, but 200 by 50 gives us 10,000, so that is 1 hectare as well. And it could be any shape, as long as it's 10,000 square metres. But again, it's 2 football fields, this time joined at the ends. Okay, it's just a nice easy way to remember it. So hect means 100, and a hectagon has 100 sides. So if you want to remember the 100 bit, hect, like hectagon, has 100 sides. All right, just to mention that. Okay, question 4. Convert 1 square kilometre to square metres. I suggest you, unless you know this, draw a square again, do the conversion, and see if you can figure it out by multiplying. Okay, there's our square. Let's have a look at the solution. It's 1 kilometre by 1 kilometre. That's what a square kilometre is. So convert them to metres now, both units. It's 1,000 metres in a kilometre by 1,000 metres. Okay, so there's the working there. So what's the answer? Type in your calculator if you need to. 1 million square metres. So 1 square kilometre is 1 million square metres. And that's the final question. You can probably see by the size of that 1 million square metres, that's the reason that hectares, I guess, were brought in and used, because otherwise it's such a huge jump up to square kilometres. It's a very large area. Okay. Alright, that concludes your tutorial, and it's time now to try it out.